All right, Shalom. This is Howard 1 by Nyasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahawashi, by Hashem Harakah Kodash, Ma'amath. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. And Shalom to you, Akim, Nakwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. And Shalom to the Akim at Lions Den. All right? This is just a lesson on my spirit. And just want to get into it. This is, I believe it's going to show the difference between the good shepherds and the bad shepherds. All right? So it's a lesson that's on my spirit, so let's see where the spirit takes me. And yeah, so this is John chapter 10, verse 1. All right, matter of fact, let me get this real quick. This is Matthew 7 and 15, and it says, "Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves," man. All right, so the Lord, let me get that, his sheep. All right, so when you go into sheep, it basically represents a shepherd, a sheep or shepherd. It goes into what? The flock, all right, the flock. And the flock is a, let's get that real quick. All right, this is the word flock, F-L-O-C-K, and it says a band or a body of people. All right, so it goes into the same word right here. All right, John 3 and 16, "For Yahweh so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have eternal life." All right, so in that word world there is cosmos, which means an orderly arrangement. And in this sense, it's an arrangement of people. All right, which is what? A group or a band or just like a flock. And it says right here, Ezekiel 34 and 31, "And ye, my flock, the flock of my pasture." All right, the flock, the pasture goes into the same thing as the vineyard. All right, so it says a pasturage, a flock, you know? And it says here, pasturing, shepherding. All right, so the pastor represents, it's in the sense of feeding. So the ones that the Lord, Yahawashi, was set up to feed with the word. All right? So that's the ones that he was set up to feed the proper provender, you know? Meaning filtering the word, setting up the men. He directly deals with these men. He feeds them, and they feed the rest of his sheep, the rest of his flock. All right, let's go here, because it says this, 2 Peter 2 and 1, "But there were false prophets among the people, so even as there shall be false teachers among you." And the teachers are set up to what? To feed the flock. And there's going to be false ones, people that bring in damnable heresies, like saying you're not supposed to worship Yahawashi, saying you could wear hats, saying that the C-hip is Christianity, the mark of the beast. They try to say it's Christianity and all, you know. So all of these people are false prophets, false teachers, you know, not feeding the sheep the proper provender. The scriptures say his men are to be as rams amongst the sheep, meaning the ram is a male sheep. That's the leader. They're the ones that guide the sheep to the shepherd. All right? Or watch over the flock just like the shepherd does. Now it says, "Who privily shall bring in damnable heresies," man, "even denying Yahawashi that bought them." The people like IUIC, you know, so a lot of these camps, man, they're denying Yahawashi. Or if they deny the truth, they're denying Yahawashi. All right, so let me get this. All right, this is John chapter 10, verse 1. "Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same as a thief and a robber. All right, so you got to go to enter into the Lord's sheepfold. You got to go through Yahweh Shai. You got to go through the truth. You got to deal with His name. That's the only way back to the Father, man, to Yahweh. All right, so Yahweh Shai is the good shepherd. So to enter into His sheepfold, you got to go through Him. And a lot of people in this world, they don't want to acknowledge Yahweh Shai. They say, cause the Holy One to cease from before us. Or they don't acknowledge that He existed, or the truth about Him. And that's what Yahweh said. They have to acknowledge the truth about His Son, about Yahweh Shai. But he that entereth in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. All right? So the Lord will make you become a shepherd. And that's through Yahweh Shai. He has to be the one that teaches us. He's the only one that can teach us how to become shepherds. All right? That's why He said, I and my Father will come in and sup with you. He'll take us by the hand and guide us, man. And sit down with you and teach you before He sends you off to lead the sheep. Not the whole nation of Israel, but the sheep, the flock. The sheep that's going to be pulled from amongst the masses of sheep. Let me get this real quick. This is Ezekiel 34:8. As I live, saith Yahweh, the Lord Yahweh, surely because my flock became a prey. See, we became a prey, the whole nation of Israel. And my flock became meat to every beast of the field. All right, so the original flock that belonged to Yahweh, which now Yahweh was married to us as a nation, us being His servant, the woman. Meaning He was in agreement with us, and we broke that agreement. We broke that covenant. So now the Lord has handed us over to Yahweh Shai and set up Yahweh Shai. You can say hired Yahweh Shai to watch over his new flock, right? New Jerusalem. Okay, so no one else. Yahweh hired Yahweh Shai. No other angel in heaven. No man upon earth. So, all right, so now it says here, and my flock became meat to every beast of the field, meaning all these nations, because there was no shepherd. See, because we had no leader. All right, we didn't have Yahweh Shai. Neither did my shepherds search for my flock, but the shepherds fed themselves and fed not my flock, man. See that? So a lot of these people that call them shepherds, they're feeding themselves. That's why they're getting all this money off of garments. They make a lot of money from garments, man. And everything they learn from the scriptures, they try to make money off of it. Or they make money off of 501c3. Or just selfish pride, man. Boosting the ego. Creating all these characters. What do you call it? Gorilla Hebrew, gorilla. General Yohana, Captain Tazariak. They create all these egos, man. What was his name? Comfy. Right? So IUIC, what's his name? What do he call himself now? Bishop Nathaniel. There's nothing wrong with being a bishop, but he carried that name a little different. He walked into the room, he's like, the bishop is here. And everybody stand up. And he come through with metallic gold all over him, Nate from IUIC, man. So they feed themselves, man. They're not feeding the flock. I don't care if they give $500 out to the flock. The Lord's saying, feed him His money. Feed them His money. So you're supposed to study, to show yourself approved, build our riches in heaven, and in our mind, the wisdom, and hand that wisdom out. That's better than money. That's better than anybody can give, saying they're creating a community like IUIC. best thing to give our people right now is this truth, man. That's what we're set up to feed the flock. Therefore, O ye shepherds, hear the word of Yahweh. Thus saith Yahweh, the Lord, behold, I am against the shepherds, and I will require my flock at their hands. See that? So the ones that's teaching these lies, the Lord going to have their blood on their hands, man. And I will require my flock at their hand and cause them to cease from feeding the flock. And that time coming. Look at Tazadakia. All right. Neither shall the shepherds feed themselves anymore. Yeah, how you gonna feed yourself in the damn economic collapse, the dollar crash, and when they pushing the C-hip on everybody? What they gonna do then? How they gonna feed themselves? For I will deliver my flock from their mouth. Whew, their mouths may be stopped, man. So the Lord, he said, the Lord's gonna deliver his flock. So that's why, we always say that there's some elect amongst IUIC, among Sakari, among ISUPK, but they're gonna most likely come out of those camps. Well, I don't know about Sakari, besides the little, with the hat and, small little matters. But they do teach the bulk of the truth as far as the C-hip and the prophecies. But mainly these camps that's teaching against the spirit of prophecy, man, like ISUPK, IUIC. All right, and other camps out there like GOCC. Now, it says, what? I will deliver my flock from their mouth, man. Not only from Esau, from this world, but from the scourge of the tongue, from the lies, and, that they may not be meat for them, man. We say making merchandise of the people. That's what they're doing. They're making merchandise of the people, man. They're on this earth eating off the Lord's table, robbing from the Lord. Yahweh said, hey, go down and teach my people. And what did Paul and them do? Paul and them became tent maker. He was a tent maker. And he said when he went to different cities, he didn't take any money from anybody. He actually paid off some brothers' debts for them. All right? So it's a big difference, man. Now, but these people, they have no talent, nothing, no creativity. So when they get into this truth gives you a character. You become an Israelite, and you see some people, they become like super Israelite. They get the golden cuffs all around from their wrist to their damn elbow. Walking around with rhinestones all over them and shit. See? So these type of people that's making money off of the Lord's people, I'll say that. All right, so it says, thus saith Yahweh, behold, I am against the shepherds. I will require my flock at their hand and cause them to cease from feeding the flock. So verse 11, and the word shepherd is two words put together, sheep and herd, herders. So those herders are the ones, I'm gonna get that in a minute too. All right, so let's get the word shepherd real quick. All right, so shepherd just means what? It means herdsman, all right, a herdsman. All right, so a shepherd is a man who leads, tends, and guards sheep in a pasture. All right, so that's what we're set up to do. We're set up in that same spirit of Yahweh to lead, to tend to, meaning to govern, and also to guard the sheep in his pasture, to protect, set up the defenses, blow the trumpet the correct way, so our people can get prepared for the battle that's coming, So this is shepherd. That's what a shepherd is. But all right. So now, Let's get this word right here. It says a herd is what? A flock, okay? A company of domestic animals, a keeping, care, custody. All right? So they haven't, these false teachers, they haven't gone up into the gaps to defend the nation of Israel, to bring peace between the nation of Israel and the Father. Instead, they're feeding their own pockets, man, and their own ego. You know? So it says here, but the Lord has a remedy for that. For thus saith Yahweh, behold, even I will both search my sheep and seek them out. Whew. So the Lord is searching through his sheep right now as with the candle. All right? So he's searching for his sheep, for his elect. Filtered, that's called the sift. As a shepherd seeketh out of his flock in the day that he is among his sheep that are scattered. All right, so if there's a bunch of sheep that are scattered, and you say for instance you see a bunch of sheep, you know your sheep are scattered and chased out by the beasts of the field, and you go out to find them. You find the sheep, you're gonna check it to make sure it's yours. You're gonna check it to make sure it's okay. All right, you're gonna bring it back to the pasture and feed it. And if it's not your sheep, you're gonna disregard it. That's how Yahweh is. All right, so will I seek out my sheep and will deliver them out of all places where they have been scattered in the cloudy and dark day. So that's what in the destruction. In the day of judgment, that's when Yahweh is going to send Yahweh Shai to seek out his sheep. He's going to put the sheep on the right hand and the goat's going to be put to the left. He's going to say, no, that's not a sheep, that's a goat. I don't care if it looks like an Israelite, that's a goat. All right, put them with the wicked. And he's going to push the righteous, or his sheep of his flock, that of his spirit, he's going to put them to the right-hand side to go into the kingdom, to rebuild his kingdom with, to reign in his kingdom. That means the introduction of a kingdom. And I will bring them out from the people. So the Lord is going to separate his elect from among these weirdos, man, and gather them from the countries, and will bring them to their own land, and feed them upon the mountains of Israel by the rivers, and in all the inhabited places of the country. See, the Lord going to feed us. He's going to take care of us in the land of Israel, especially in the wilderness. That's what the Lord is going to cause us to pass under the rod. What did that mean? That means to filter through and say, hey, you're my elect. He's going to put a crown on each brother's head, man. You're my elect. You're all right. You good. We'll make a new covenant with you. You know, that's what the Lord going to do. That's what it means to cause someone to pass under the rod. That means they would count their sheep. You know, and check them and everything. So, and I will bring them out from the people. Oh, so like in verse 14. And I will feed them in a good pasture. See, the Lord promised that he's going to feed his elect in a good pasture. So you're going to have good teachers that are doing the good work of the Lord, handing out the good news in the same spirit of Yahweh Shai, the good shepherd. All right. It says, and I will feed them in a good pasture, right? So the Lord said he was going to lead us. He said, what? What's that? Psalms 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. And in the Song of Solomon, it says, I will lead. He's going to lead us by the way where the sheep are being fed, man. All right, and that's green pastures, man. And the Lord has given us that green pasture to be fed. And upon the high mountains of Israel shall their fold be. There shall they lie down in a good fold, and in a fat pasture shall they feed upon the mountains of Israel. And I will feed my flock, and I will cause them to lie down, saith Yahweh, man. So that's coming. So the Lord is feeding us, and then He's gonna cause us to be able to rest in that same green pasture, in that spirit of truth, because that's what's coming. All the lies and wickedness gonna be put down. Truth and righteousness is gonna reign all throughout the earth. And the Lord is gonna gather those that are seeking for that, for a new kingdom, new heaven and new earth. All right, John 10:1. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber, man. So they trying to go through these churches. They going through these sideline camps, ABC camps that's making money off the people. You know, hey, you know, a little, somebody want to give, you know, not tithes, but what's the other word they try to use now? Alms. They basically asking you for a tithe, you know. So, but anyway, people that give alms, a free will offering, that's different. You know, somebody say, hey, I'm gonna give you this, and you take it, and like, all right, that's cool. But to say, hey, you gotta give this money every month or every week to keep me going, that's not good. And then they're not even teaching people the truth. So they're feeding themselves. But he that entereth in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep, man. To him the porter openeth, and the sheep hear his voice. And he calleth his own sheep by name and leadeth them out. And that's Yahushua. All right, so he's calling his sheep by name, meaning the Lord knows those who are his. He knows, he said his sheep hear his voice. I know them and they follow me. That's what Yahushua said. Whew, come on with it, man. Yahushua knew us from the beginning. It says here, so he's gonna lead us out. That's what we gotta trust. That's called moving in faith. Like going through a storm, you can't see what's in front of you. You kind of moving in faith, man. You know, or you at the bottom of an ocean and you see that rope and it pulls you out of the mud. That's faith. You know, trusting in Yahushua to get us through all these situations, learning to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations because of our faith. It says here, and when he putteth forth his own sheep, he goeth before them, and the sheep follow him. See, when the Lord put forth his elect, the men, or the leaders of the rest of the flock, Yahushua goes before us, not like we running things. No, he's supposed to be our representation. First thing we're supposed to say is Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. You know, that's who we serve. B'Hashem Rekah Kodash. All right, his truth and his word is to be preferred before us. Getting the truth to people, man. So he goeth before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. All right? So in the rest of the pasture, the rest of the flock, they're gonna know the Lord's voice. They're gonna be able to understand the truth when they hear the men of the Lord. That's why you have them called elders in the camps, or leaders of these camps, if you want to call it that, or flocks. They're the ones that set up to be first, you know, as the teachers. But Yahushua is before us. And a stranger, and when he putteth forth his own sheep, he goeth before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. And a stranger will they not follow, but will flee from him. For they know not the voice of strangers, man. See? Scriptures say that, man. One shall cling unto their like. So if they're strange and they're going off, you know, they had that degenerate spirit, they're going to follow the degenerates. If they're suckers, they're going to follow people that taking their money all the time. You got to do this to make it to the kingdom. You got to pay me this. Have me driving around a Corvette or a Tesla, and you sitting there broke, paying me your money, and then as soon as you do one thing wrong, I kick you out. Like, fuck you, I don't care about you. Well, shit, I should have some type of investment. Like, you should give me part of my money back. All right? This parable spake Yahushua to them, but they understood not what things they were which he spake unto them. Then said Yahushua unto them again, Verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep. See, Yahushua is the door for us to walk through, to get to the kingdom, to get to Yahweh, to get towards righteousness. Just like in the Matrix, you had that one door you can go through. Out of a room, a hallway full of 100 doors, there's only one. That's the Yahushua, through the deliverer. And he says, what? All that ever came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them, man. See that? So even all up until Yahushua, all the false prophets, the Lord, what you call the Sanhedrin, or a lot of the wicked Sadducees and Pharisees, Yahushua was saying they were all thieves and robbers. And even up to this point, all up until Abba Bivens. And then beyond that, all up until now, you still have thieves and robbers out here. All right, all that ever came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them. I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved, man, and shall go in and out and find pasture. You can feel it once you have the truth, and the Lord gonna give it to you freely. All right, that's gonna be your new comfort zone, being in this truth. You're gonna grow. You're gonna start off with the milk, and you're gonna grow to the meat, and you're gonna become a man in this truth. And it's a great feeling, man. But then you gotta deal with the woes of the world, because the world wants you to be rich like Rick Ross. The world wants you to be rich like Nate Satan and them from IUIC and all these other camps. The world wants you to be out there with guns and new era baseball hats on with your brand on it like Sakari. They want that. They want a facade. They don't want you to be a spiritual man and lowly like the elders of GMS and the sincere Akim around the world. Yeah, you can have money, but try not to get money because of the truth. Sell the truth and buy it not. I mean, buy the truth and sell it not. Salakia. All right, buy the truth and sell it not, man. That's the point, I think, of this lesson. That's what I'm gonna call it. Buy the truth and sell it not. All right, so now it says here, the thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. So that's the thing, man. When you get into this truth, you're supposed to be growing. But you'll meet a lot of these cats that's in these other camps, or in these churches, and they haven't grown spiritually. They're not even born yet. Or they still born. Or they born with defects. You know, degenerates. Not truly born in the spirit. Now it says here, where was I at? Okay, here we go. I am the good shepherd. See, Yahweh Shai is saying that he is the good shepherd. So comparing the good shepherd to the bad shepherds. All right, so Yahweh Shai was prophesied about to be upon this earth, a so-called black man from the tribe of Judah, who they killed around 37 AD, and was born around 4 BCE. So he was around 40 years old when they crucified him. Yahweh Shai, a righteous man, a righteous spirit, the God of the heavens and the earth under Yahweh, the Son of Yahweh, Son of God, man, the Son of the Most High. Still alive to this day out in the heavens and about to return. Still leading the flock. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. All right. But he that is a hireling, let's see what a hireling is. This is a hireling, man. A hireling is a person employed to undertake menial work. Man, this is menial work. The Lord don't need us to do this, man. He said, this is small work right here. It's gonna be big for us, you know, but this is the least we could do. He said, my righteousness is as filthy rags, and I am an unprofitable servant. One man watereth, another man planteth, but the Most High gives the increase. He don't really need us. So this is menial work, man. The Lord doing the rest, everything. But check this out. It says a hireling is a person who works purely for material reward. A hireling is a person who works purely for material reward. They're carnal. See, they're only doing this for the money. Once the money stops, oh man, I believe that's when we're gonna see who they really are. That's what we're gonna see, man. And we at that time. So it says here, I am the good shepherd, and I know my sheep, and am known of my sheep. As the Father knoweth me, even so know I the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep. And other sheep, okay, so it says, I am the good shepherd, and it says, I am the good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. All right, so Yahweh Shai gave his life for us, man. So he ain't come down here for money or nothing. He went so far as to give his life for us. So a lot of these people that you're paying money to, would they give their life for you? No. Yeah, you can do alms here and there, but every week on a consistent basis, and you paying their bills the whole damn time, so what? I don't care if nobody likes it. So what? They need to find a way to make money another way. You can ask for help. Like say for instance, you about to get kicked out of a house or something, and you ain't got no other choice. Hey, try to find a way, pray. And the Lord will make a way for you. But if not, hey, maybe you could go to your brothers or you go to your camp. You say, I need a little help. But then you find a way to get that back in return. You know, and understand and respect their investment. Not just kicking people away from you because you feel like it, but give them their money back. Not saying me, because I don't give no money, you know, I give money to poor people, you know. But alms is different, you know. But on a consistent basis, like a regular income, and it's coming from the people, nah, man. You basically a Christian church now. All right, so let's get this real quick about the hirelings. All right, and I'm gonna end it here. It says here, woe be, this is Jeremiah 23:1. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith Yahweh, man. So they ain't doing nothing but destroying and scattering the people even more. Those that gather not with him, with the ones that are not gathering with Yahweh Shai, they're scattering the people even more, man, by confusing them. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, the power of Israel, the God of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people, ye have scattered my flock and driven them away, especially these Christian churches and these Islamic mosques, Catholic churches, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, saith Yahweh, and that's coming. And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all the countries, just like he said in Ezekiel. But the Lord is focused and is sifting, and he is going to gather his flock from amongst the people. And these people that have built mountains of gold off the Lord's word, man, he gonna snatch that power from them and their riches. And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries, whither I have driven them. So that means Israel is going to be gathered, not Esau, not vocab, and will bring them again to their folds, man, meaning to their land. So if you're from Judah, you're going to be brought to Judah. You're from Ephraim, you're going to be brought to that land, man. We're going to live in those lands again. That goes with Revelations where it says 12 gates. So we have a place in this existence. But people, since we were scattered and lost, we became like shooting stars. Shooting stars you see in the sky, they have no resting place. They just continue on, and they continue on in darkness. But a star that's fixed in place, like the Lord has bent Orion, set up Orion, what we call the Big Dipper. Yahushua bent those and put them in place out there in the sky for us to look at. What we call the Little Dipper, Big Dipper. They say it's shaped like a bear and all that. Or Orion, looks like a person with a bow, they're shooting a bow. So Yahushua bent those and fixed them in place, just like he did with the 12 tribes of Israel, the elect. But the rest of Israel, they're like shooting stars to whom the darkness is reserved for them, the blackness of night, to where they continue on forever in that darkness, having no resting place, like a shooting star. All right? So, but the Lord said he's going to gather the remnant of his flock out of all the countries whither I have driven them, and will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. That's spiritual and physical in the kingdom. And I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more. See, we were scattered, and now the Lord promised that he was going to set up shepherds in these days to feed our people. So the Lord is with his people, man. The Lord's presence is here. All right, he said, I will give you pastors according to my heart that shall feed you. All right, and they shall fear no more. Whoo. So through the Spirit, this takes away that fear. Faith conquers fear. Courage, which goes into faith, confidence. It all conquers fear. Action conquers fear. The Lord activated us, animated us, got us moving again, stood us upon our feet. So he didn't give us a spirit of fear, but he gave us a spirit of what? Hope. All right? Nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, saith Yahweh. Say, we ain't going to be lacking in anything. You know? You got to pray to the Father. Pray to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua to increase you, and the wisdom to lead his people, the wisdom to be right in his sight and to do things correctly, and to use that wisdom to work at these jobs or start you a business. That way you can get some income. You know, somebody that's in the truth, they got good researching skills. You can use that in a job as well. Being on the computer all the time and stuff like that. All right. So, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, man. And not just Solomon, who was Yahushua, but he came back as Yahushua. That's that righteous branch that was born through Joseph and Mary, the bloodline of King David. And a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. All right, that happened with Solomon, but it really is talking about Yahushua right here. He's the one that's shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. And that's going to happen when the Lord destroys Babylon. In his days, Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely. All right. So this is the prophet Jeremiah, and I think he was teaching from, if I'm not mistaken, from around 627 or so. Let me see. I was correct. Yep, 627, and he stopped around 587 or 586 with the fall of Babylon. So this was after King Solomon. So it's not talking about Solomon. Solomon died, transitioned into the heavens around 970 BCE. Or 931, Salaki. He was born. He started ruling when King David died around 970, and King Solomon started ruling in 970 BC, and he transitioned around 931 BCE, where you get Jeroboam, Rehoboam. So this scripture in Jeremiah is not talking about Solomon. It's talking about Yahushua in the future, because Jeremiah came after Solomon. So he said what? He was going to raise unto King David a branch, a righteous branch. All right, same thing spoken of in Isaiah chapter 11. Same branch. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that they shall no more say that Yahweh liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, but Yahweh liveth, which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, and from all the countries whither I have driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. All right, so the Lord is leading us back to him, man, by the shepherds that follow the good shepherd, not follow after these false prophets, you know, and shepherds that are making merchandise of the people, not building them up in the wisdom. They have no growth. They just become more and more wicked, even in their doctrine, and profane and vain and also carnal. And they gain more money, but they're not gaining in the spirit. So if they're not gaining in the spirit, they can't help you gain in the spirit. All right? So I think I'm gonna end it there, man. And all right, so again, there's nothing wrong with giving alms, or receiving alms or giving alms, but it shouldn't be on a consistent basis. Like monthly, you give me some money, or every week I need my money when you show up to camp, or every month I want my money on time. If it ain't on time, you out the camp. It's like, yo, people operate like that. They wicked, man. That's not what this is about. And then you give all your money, and the next thing you know, they just put you out of a camp like you ain't shit. Tell everybody to disregard you like you're nothing. That's a lot, man. That's not right. So I don't know anybody personally that that's happening to, but I know that it's happening out there. All right. This is Proverbs 23 and 23. Buy the truth. Yeah, you can pay for it. You can give some money to people. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with that. But you don't want to consistently, if anything, give your money to the elders of GMS, something like that, But you don't want to give your money to these false prophets out here, man. All right. It says, buy the truth and sell it not. Also, wisdom and instruction and understanding. See that? So, and there's really nothing you can give for the truth. So, this is just a parable. It's not telling you to go give somebody money. It's just saying, hey, spend your life on this truth, man. Give your time to this truth. Give everything to this truth. You know, don't go out trying to sell it. Hey, I got the truth. You want to buy my CD with the scriptures on there, like they do in church. Charging people a fee to make it into the kingdom. The Lord said He gave this freely. You want to come to the Passover? You got to bring like $500, $200. We having boys and men this week. We got special guests coming. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, I'm going to end it there, man. This was on my spirit. And hopefully it was edifying to the elect to keep pushing and stay in the spirit of wisdom and study, being studious, and accepting where you are and fighting from there. And learning to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations, buying the truth and selling it not, and following after the good shepherd and knowing what a bad shepherd is. A hireling, somebody that's doing the work only for material gain.